Mr. Chairman, our actions today will set the tone for the 114th Congress. I'm proud of the record of bipartisan cooperation that this committee has developed over the years. Unfortunately, Mr. Chairman, there are a couple of dark clouds looming that threaten bipartisan cooperation. First, of course, is the scheduled markup of your border bill later today. As I told you, I came in to this Congress eager to continue our bipartisan effort at border security and build on our success with H.R. 1417. Mr. Chairman, I'm troubled that instead of embracing my good faith offer of partnership, you introduced a 72-page wide-ranging bill with no input, I repeat, no input from Democrats. To make matters worse, on Friday, you decided to schedule a markup of that bill today, which before last week had never been seen. Mr. Chairman, I'm certain you are aware that scheduling a markup for today would result in members on both sides of the aisle having very little time to review the measure, let alone prepare amendments. Monday was a federal holiday, the observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, and last night, the President delivered the State of the Union address. Further, scheduling a markup at the full committee undercuts the Border and Maritime Security Subcommittee, which is just being constituted today with a new leader on our side of the aisle, a gentleman with significant knowledge of the challenges along the southwest border, the gentleman from Texas, Representative Philemon Vela. The second dark cloud, of course, the change that you have included in the committee's rules package with respect to subpoena authority. I'm troubled that your staff never mentioned your desire to have unilateral authority to issue subpoenas during the month-long bipartisan negotiations on the rules package. Historically, changes to our committee rules are bipartisan and reflect the lessons learned from the previous Congress. Generally, we come together to refine the rules in those places where there have been confusion or where obstacles have been encountered. Not once in the 113th Congress did you pursue the issuance of a subpoena, so this rule changes seems to be out of left field. A charitable view of it would be that it is a solution looking for a problem. A less charitable view would be that it is a power grab by a chairman with a significant larger majority, and I really hope that that's not the case. As any observer of this committee can tell you, despite our jurisdictional limitations, we are most effective when we put politics aside, and act in a unified bipartisan manner. When terrorists or whomever wants to do harm, they don't ask whether we are Democrats or Republicans. They're just trying to hurt Americans. Look at what we accomplished together in the last Congress on cybersecurity, aviation security, and chemical security. Regrettably, the subpoena rule changes, signals a go-it-alone mindset. This is unfortunate. There's too much we need to do together to address what Americans say it is our biggest concern, terrorism. Just last week, the Pew Research Center reported that for the first time in 5 years, Americans have put defending the country from terrorism at the top of their priority list, given that the threats posed by homegrown violent extremists and the diverse nature of the terrorist plots and incidents that recently occurred in Europe, Australia, Canada, and Nigeria, this is not surprising. In recognition of the diverse threat environment, Secretary Johnson has directed the Department to increase its security, screening, and protection efforts, particularly at federal buildings, airports, and other possible targets. Congress needs to do more and provide funding to DHS for the full fiscal year without strings. As for this committee, we should come together to provide the oversight that DHS needs to fulfill its missions. To that end, I'm pleased that the committee will have the benefit of an impressive slate of members from across the country from the Democratic roster this Congress. The depth of their experience and diversity in backgrounds that our members bring to this table will most certainly enhance the effectiveness of the committee. With that, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to all the returning and new members of the committee and yield back.